Hello and welcome once again to M&A Ambassadors Becoming the USP, the Ultimate Sales Professional. Now, in the next few videos, kind of like a mini series, I'd like to talk about qualifying. And we will do this for buyers as well as sellers. But before I get into the specific questions about buyers and sellers, let's understand what is the purpose of qualifying and why we should not skip this process in selling. Now, qualifying is sometimes referred to as uncovering need. In some cases, they call it discovery phase. It's discovering what you need to know so that you can present your solution based on that. It's like a journey. It's a roadmap for your success. So don't shortcut the process. If you don't complete the qualifying process, you might just end up assuming certain things and presenting a product which may be absolutely amazing, but it doesn't fit the need of the client correctly, and you'll end up in a space where you'll hear things like, let me think about it, I'll come back to you, I need to check with someone. So never rush the qualifying. So the first thing that you need to understand is that there is a structure and a sequence that you will go through in asking your qualifying questions. The second thing that you will need to look at, we would do that in separate videos, is what is the nature or type of question that you need to ask. We have 3 levels of questions based on what you're trying to achieve. And then, very important, we need to summarize after the qualification before we will even start to identify the solution. So for this video in particular, I just want to talk about what should you be looking for and which answers you must have before you will start to present solutions. The first one, obvious to all of you, is the need. Why is this person looking to buy right now? Why that kind of a particular community? What exactly is he looking for? Is there a preferred community that he has in mind? What type of an investment? Would it be a short-term investment? Is it a long-term investment? So I need to find out the actual need, that which the product will be able to take care of. Now, it's also important, once I've identified the need, to uncover the dominant buying motive. Some people call it the motivation to make the decision. I need the dominant buying motive because the dominant buying motive is always in the person and it is never in the product. So what the dominant buying motive will do for you is it will tell you why this particular community or why this type of an investment is making sense to the client. The hot buttons of the client, the ones you will want to press, or the references that you'll want to make when you are presenting the solution will come from the dominant buying motives. Now, after you have got the dominant buying motive, we then need to look at the financial facts. Things like how much is he looking at investing? Is it going to be a self-funded deal? Is it going to be with a mortgage? Do we have pre-approvals for that? How much is he willing to put as an initial token amount to lock the opportunity? What kind of monthly installments are they comfortable with? Source of funds, do they have access to those funds if we were to be able to find that perfect home for them quickly? So you need to be able to identify this. Now, the sequence is very important. You will never start with the money. You will always start with the need because that is what the client is interested in. And to get that need, how much are you looking at investing? The money question naturally comes after that. The third thing, very important, that you have to ask is the decision time frame. So let's say I found you 1, 2, 3, 4, and I could get it for you within that kind of an amount. How soon are you looking at making the decision? We must find out the timeline because if people are just information gathering right now, you may want to shorten your presentation if you're convinced that there is no decision coming today. And that leads us to the fourth point that you need to find out is, are you actually speaking to the key decision makers? In many cases, it would be partners in an investment. If it is a home, it could be a husband. It will usually be the husband and wife. And if only one person is with you, there's a very remote probability of a closure happening today. So you might want to change your strategy and your approach in such a case. And then there is one more thing that you will need to talk about, which is super critical. I will talk about that in the next video. It is identifying any potential concerns or problems they may have had or things that they may have heard. I'll talk about this in the next video because there are two schools of thought. It's very important to identify where you sit. I want to thank you for your time with us on this episode of M&A Ambassadors Becoming the USP, the Ultimate Sales Professional.